Hi everybody, and welcome back to the third Javafx application video. And in this video I'm going to create a console. Now in the Eclipse it's got a console, and there it'll give us certain warnings and things about errors about our code and stuff, but it does not necessarily show me how my application is running, and I would like that to kind of like appear in my own console window. Lots of people will, for instance, type in their in their code, they would type the system out print line command, which will print the things to the console here. However, I prefer to use my own console, so I'm just going to go right ahead and do that. So in my source folder I'm going to create a new package, and I'm going to call that console, like so, and then I'm going to create a new class, and I'm going to call that console, like that. And then in here I'm going to create a function which is going to be public, and it's going to be a void, and it's going to just create console. Yep, that's correct. And so I'm just going to steal the stage. It's going to create a stage. I'm going to steal the stage which we created in the previous window. So if you want to see the details of that, you can go and have a look at that video. I think it's number 2. And then I'm just going to change the naming convention so that it is all kind of like correct. Otherwise, we're going to get quite confused in certain times. And then this now this CSS location does not exist in this package. It only exists in this package. So, and I'm not going to style this console, so we can just go ahead and take that out. Otherwise it's just going to give us loads of error messages which we don't need. So that's the console stage, that's the border pane, that's the scene that takes in the console border pane, and that's the stage, and we're just going to call that console, so the stage title is correct. And then the stage takes in the scene, and then we're going to show the stage. And I want this stage to show at the very beginning of all the code, so I'm just going to go right to the very first where it all starts in the main method, and here I'm going to call console, console, and say new console. And we're just going to go and import that, and we want to make sure we import the console which we've created and not the Java IO console. So we're just going to do that, and then we're going to start create the console. Done. Create console. So if we run that application, then we will see that the console is created first. It's nicely there in the background, and the launcher. So that's our application so far. However, this console is still a bit in the way here, so I'm just going to move it, out of the way, so when it loads the console window, it'll be in a different position on the screen. So we're going to go straight ahead into the console, and after we call the console.show, we're going to set the parameters for it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create a rectangle, and it's going to be a 2D rectangle. We're going to call it bounds, and that is going to be the screen dot get primary, and it's going to be dot get visuals, the visual bounds, so that the 2D rectangle is now set to the visual bounds of the primary screen. So we're just going to import, and we're going to import the Java geometry, the FX geometry. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to create a double, and we're going to call it x because we're first going to set the x axis of our bounds, and that equals the bounds. Let me just get this right. Dot get min x. So that's the primary screen min x. Okay, and then we are going to then just add the bounds dot get width, just that one, and then we are going to subtract the console what's it, the console scene, that's it, scene dot get width, and then we're just going to set that to the position where we want. You can play around with that, that's what you want to see. So now that we've got that variable x set to our location and bounded together with our scene width and things like that, we can move it about. Well, we've moved it about by setting the figures here. We are now going to set our stage to that x. So the console stage dot, let's get it right, dot set x, and it's going to take in the double x. Okay, so now if we run the application now, you will find that our console moves all the way to the left, which is what we want. So if we close that, now I'm going to move it up a bit, so we're going to do the Y, and I'm going to just copy this this code. Okay, and I'm going to paste it because it's almost the same, not quite. Okay, so we're going to now set Y, and instead of get min x, we want to get min y, because we're doing the y-axis. And now instead of width here, we want to get height, and the same with the scene here, we want to get height. Okay, so we basically just rewrote that code down the bottom here and changed our things to the necessary variables. I'm still going to leave it there because it's going to take it right up to the top, and then over here, let's bring this code back up there, then down here we're just going to say console stage dot set y, and it's going to take in the double y, yeah, the double we've created. And so if we just run this now, you can see our console window appears up there. So that is just creating a window and setting it to appear on the screen where you want it to appear. So I'm quite happy with that, and well, I hope you enjoyed that video. In the next video I'm going to start to make it work so that actually we can see some text appear inside our console and processes happening and things like that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. Please like and subscribe, and enjoy your coding.